Hey, Crystal Maiden here, and now I'm finally going to be showing off the Game Boy Advance version of Link to the Past. And it really goes to show you just how I record these parts months before I upload them, so I probably gave off the impression that I was going to upload this video a lot later than I did, but I got a Game Boy player. So, now I can make this video. And I love this! You can change the speed of the text box to a lot faster than normal. That's awesome! Every game should have a feature like that. I mean, the text still doesn't scroll as fast as it does in, say, Pokemon White on the highest text speed setting. And I think every game should have that option. I mean, who actually wants to have the text scroll really slowly? And also allows you to change the brightness of everything, which is awesome. But yeah, I'm going to be showing off all the version differences, and a lot of them, well, they're going to go by so fast that I won't be able to talk about them all. But yeah, here's the cave that I mentioned earlier. They changed the enemies in this place to suit the world that they're supposed to exist in. And as you saw earlier, they changed it so that the intro that you usually see when you leave the title screen on for too long, usually you can skip it, but in this version of the game you can't. It's an unskippable cutscene that happens when you start up your file, which is pretty annoying. It means it's less like Zelda 1 where you can just immediately start off your adventure. The Ice Palace is a lot easier in the Game Boy Advance version, because they fixed I mean, you still have to do a lot of backtracking in the dungeon to get around the color changing blocks. I mean, you still have to get backtracking, but I mean, the puzzle wasn't really that bad in the Super Nintendo version. You could just go to the Ice Palace with the can of Samaria and you'll be fine. But it's nice that they changed it. That's the only dungeon design in the whole game that they changed for this version. And they did a different translation of Orca's speech in this game, so that he doesn't imply that Zelda's related to you. Something I haven't mentioned is that the boss of the Ice Palace, it was originally supposed to have this unique ice melting animation. Due to a glitch, the developers accidentally didn't show you it. So it just disappeared, but they fixed that in the Game Boy Advance version. Like, there's so many differences that I like Sahasrahla having a dialogue tree that gives you, it's like, go, yeah? Or you actually respond enthusiastically. Although, you can't collect arrows when you don't have the bow yet. That's something unique. This version of the game added 2 shops. This is one of them. This was a ruined house in the Super Nintendo version, and I consider this to be a side quest of the game, so I showed this to you. You can buy golden bees at will. Another thing is that you can actually have the shovel and the flute at the same time in the GBA version. I don't know why they didn't have that in the original Super Nintendo version. Maybe they just didn't have enough room in the item menu. I mean, that's another thing. The item menu GBA version, you go to an empty bottle, and you don't actually see. Usually when you highlight empty bottle, then it'll show you a drop-down menu of all the different bottles. But this game doesn't do that. The item menu just shows all of the bottles on it. So there's clearly plenty of room. And I hate the sound that the mirror makes. Like, really? That's one of my least favorite changes in the GBA version. They just made... Most of the sound effects are perfectly spot on, and I don't notice a difference in music. But the GBA sound chip, it could not handle the sound of warping from the different worlds. They also retranslated a lot of the lines, like the "I will soothe your wounds," that was changed. I saw a video on YouTube saying that you could walk through that guy, but obviously that's not the case. So, I don't know how he faked that. The mirror glitch is thankfully still active in this version of the game. And ironically, It's even easier to pull off because you don't automatically slide out of the dungeon. You just start at the dungeon as normal. And you'll notice that the Underworld is kind of different because you don't see empty rooms all over the place. And sometimes it can be a lot more difficult to navigate because there are certain rooms where you'll get completely stuck. Particularly dark rooms. I didn't mean to... Yeah, the controls are changed for the GBA version so that you press A and you use items. And you press R to pick up jars and dash with the Pegasus boots. So I thought I was playing Super Nintendo version, so I used the magic mirror by accident when I was trying to dash. It was profoundly confusing trying to play the GBA version with the GameCube controller, and it was really hard for me to adjust to the different controls. Oh yeah, here's another glitch. You can change the colors of a Ganon, exclusive to the GBA version. There's a lot of glitches that are exclusive to the GBA version. And that's not exclusive to the Underworld. You can do it even in the regular boss battles. I'm not sure why the mirror glitch is so much easier to do in this version of the game. They fixed the save and quit variety of the glitch, which I absolutely hate. Because it means that you can't do a glitch quest right from starting out the game and try to get as many items as you can. You can't do that. You have to progress past phase 1 of the game. So speedruns of this version take a lot longer, because you have to at least get up to the magic mirror. This is one of my favorite glitches. Unfortunately, your shield returns to normal when you go into a building. Which sucks because I really would have loved to be able to go through the entire game. I would have loved being able to go through the rest of the game with a blue shield. I mean, look at how beautiful the shield looks now. I mean, it's such a great shade of blue. I mean, the mirror shield in later Zelda games would be blue. Or white and blue. Why can't I destroy this thing? I mean, I was attacking with the hammer and nothing was happening. Are they immune to the hammer when they're frozen? Like-likes don't appear in the Super Nintendo version. There's something that was added to this version of the game. Oh no! He took away my mirror shield. Whatever am I going to do? You can actually buy back your mirror shield in this version of the game. That's another thing that was added. So, if you lose your mirror shield, which never happened in the Super Nintendo version, the regular shield stealing enemy can't steal your mirror shield in either version of the game. And like-likes only appear in this screen and this screen only. It kind of makes him feel like a pointless enemy that only served to justify the inclusion of that one shop that you're probably never going to go to, because there's nothing there in the Super Nintendo version. So you might never discover that. But I'm showing off a glitch. This is the color changing soldiers glitch. So, if you perform the Death Mountain Descent glitch, so that you can get into the Dark World without ever beating Ganon for the first time, then this is what will happen if you exit from these specific dungeons in the Dark World, and then use the flute to go to Link's house so that the game gets confused. And then you go to the left, and for some bizarre reason it changes the color of the soldiers. I have no idea why. I mean, clearly the game is correct about what world you're in, because it's playing the right music and it shows the right graphics. Oh yeah! Did you notice that? There's an extra warp point in the GBA version. It adds so much convenience. These guys are functionally still green soldiers. It's just the color that changes. And it's only for one screen. Like, if you leave a screen and come back, then all the other green soldiers are going to be just normal. The glitch will still work if you use the magic mirror more times than you're supposed to, which is good. Yeah, it's like this game added so much convenience to A Link to the Past. Like, you can save wherever you want, just like in the original. And better yet, you can reload from wherever you want. I mean, in dungeons, you just reload from the entrance to the dungeon, which is extremely lame, and I don't know why they did that. But out in the overworld, you can reload from exactly where you saved. And you'd think that that would kind of break the game because you restart from your save place, but oh, you were stuck in a wall or something, so your file is useless now. But no, because it gives you an option when you start out your file. Start at save place, start at Link's house, and if you're in the Dark World, it asks if you want to start at the save place or start at the Pyramid of Power. So, it really does no harm in letting you reload from literally wherever you want. I don't know why every Zelda game doesn't do this. Why do later Zelda games make the mistake of having you rely on save points like it's fucking Final Fantasy or something? I mean, I don't hate that series, but save points is something that really shouldn't exist. Like, convenience is vital. Yeah. I haven't shown off everything about the Death Mountain Descent before, so I just wanted to show that off. Oh yeah, and if you go to the north, of that bridge, then you'll have a ledge and you'll try to jump up it, but you'll fall down, and you'll just constantly keep falling down. Here's the glitch that I mentioned when I was upgrading my sword. You bring the dwarf into here, and he morphs into Zelda. And then he becomes a headless Zelda. I tried doing this with the treasure chest, but it doesn't work. For some reason it doesn't change. I remember it changing. Maybe I did something wrong. Oh yeah, and here's this glitch. The rock turns invisible in your hand and you can't throw it away. But thankfully when you go into a cave, it disappears, so you don't have to worry about your game being broken. Flute cancelling is another thing the GBA version introduced, and with it brings a whole slew of glitches, or 3 to be precise. Here is one of them, and this one's kind of amusing. I think I discovered this by accident, actually. Yeah, reset. And if you save here and choose start at save place, then you'll reload your file and you'll be still in that glitch state. But again, it's fine because you can choose multiple different places to start to respawn from. Yeah, so you can swim on land. I don't know why that happens. Why does it happen? It's so weird. It seems completely random. It looks like the whole flute canceling thing seemed to be kind of an afterthought, because they clearly didn't program it right. I mean, Link can walk on water and everything. And now, I'm going to be showing off the zero save glitch. Anyone familiar with me would know that the zero save glitch was the first video I ever uploaded on YouTube, and for some reason it's the one with the most amount of views. But it wasn't in very good quality, because I recorded it with my playbook, which I don't use anymore. So now I have a Game Boy player, I can show off a better version of this. With fast forwarding, because I have editing software now and everything. The footage switches between showing the Game Boy player and being in full screen and not. Like the different footages weren't recorded all at the same time. Like they weren't recorded in chronological order. And I was still experimenting with the Game Boy player. So it wasn't until later that I realized, oh, you can full screen this, and oh, you can change the frame so that the borders look black, and so it's a lot more subtle. So I'm really happy with how the Game Boy player turned out. Although it's really weird using the X button on the GameCube controller to bring up the item menu. Yeah. You turn into a bunny when you leave your house, and I don't know why that happens. And look, what? The game remembers that you have a warp tile to the Dark World, and it remembers exactly where it is, but everything else, gone. It doesn't remember the items you collected. It doesn't remember the progress you made. It respawns you back at your house, but it thinks you're a bunny. it thinks you're in the dark world when you leave your house. So, there's no way to get out of this form at all. And I can sort of understand why the game takes you in the dark world, because normally when you beat the game, you respawn on the Pyramid of Power. So the game thinks it's supposed to respawn you at the Pyramid of Power, so you become a bunny when you leave Link's house. That I understand. But this? Why does this happen? I mean, why? I mean, the only important thing I can think about the Sanctuary is that you go into it and it ends phase 1 of the game, and you can restart from it. You can reload your file from it. But that doesn't explain why you spawn here and you're stuck in a wall and you can't do anything. And the game clearly knows it's phase 1, and it thinks that it knows that you don't have the sword because you see Zelda's telepathic message. I don't know why this glitch happens, but I discovered this completely by accident. I don't know if other people show this off, but don't beat the entire game without saving, because that's why that glitch happens. The most inexcusable thing is that when you beat the Super Nintendo version, you're usually encouraged to beat it one go without ever saving. So if you beat the Game Boy Advance version without saving, thinking that saving still counts as a death, then you'll get that glitch. And all the work you did, I mean, I'm honestly surprised that this glitch isn't more well known. Because how are you supposed to know, starting out the GBA version, that saving no longer counts as a death? But anyways, that was a zero save glitch. And in the next part, we're going to be showing off the Palace of the Four Sword. And how am I going to do that exactly? After all, I can't beat Four Swords, because this game includes a different game on it, called Four Swords, which you can only play by hooking up multiple different Game Boy Advances to each other, with the same cartridge with Link to the Past in them. So, it's a stupid social bonus thing, and naturally, most people outside of Japan, in countries without a huge population density, are never going to be able to beat Four Swords, because they're never going to find anyone willing to play the game with them. And that sucks, because in order to unlock some cool things in Link to the Past GBA version, you have to beat Four Swords. So, and that includes a Hurricane Spin Attack. It's a spin attack, but it lasts a lot longer, because you spin all around all over the place. And then I guess you get dizzy afterwards. But I couldn't show that off. But what I can show off is the bonus dungeon, and you're going to see how exactly I do that in the next part. I have my own way of getting in there, although it's not going to be easy.